Hey there, welcome back to a brand new video. My name is Musa Jallo, and in today's video I'm going to be reacting to a video from the Geographic Bible, and the video is entitled "Is Norway the best country in the world to live in?" If you don't know what HDI stands for, it stands for Human Development Index. So with no further delay, let's get into the reaction.
The Human Development Index measures each country's social and economic development by focusing on the following four factors: the average years of schooling, expected years of schooling, life expectancy at birth, and gross national income per capita. This then gives each country a score. The closer to 1 you are, the better the living standards generally are in your country. So at 0.957, Norway is the highest ranking country.
That's crazy high, Like 0.957, that's like almost 1,
On Earth. But what exactly does this mean? And just how great of a place is Norway to live? So first things first, let's take a look at how other countries from around the world rank in the HDI index. The USA, although technically the richest country on Earth, ranks in 17th place, just below Canada. Hong Kong, although a special administrative region of China, is the highest ranking in Asia, in 4th place, with a score of 0.949. Australia is the highest ranking country in Oceania, in equal 8th place, alongside the Netherlands. Chile is the highest ranking country in Latin America, in equal 43rd place. And finally, Mauritius is the highest ranking African country, in 66th place. Over the last 5 is the highest ranking African country, in 66th place.
Oh my god, I know this video is about Norway, but take a moment and appreciate Mauritius, This is like so pretty, I feel like I should check it out more,
Over the last 5 years, Hong Kong, Ireland, Kazakhstan and Georgia are the highest risers, all rising 7 places each. Denmark, Norway's Nordic brother, is the biggest loser, falling 6 places over the last 5 years. So at just 5.5 million, Norway is a relatively small country in terms of population size. This actually makes it the 118th most populated country on Earth. However, when it comes to economy size or GDP, they punch well above their weight. At over $500 billion, they rank as the 27th largest economy in the world.
The economy of Norway is bigger than the economy of Thailand. That's crazy. It's bigger than the economy of Nigeria, Nigeria have like almost 210 million people living there, It's bigger than Egypt. Damn. Norway is small, but it's really powerful, like Norway, there's a lot of money here, Oh my god.
World, placing them above the likes of Nigeria, Thailand and Egypt, who have a population 40, 14 and 21 times larger. The reason why Norway is so wealthy is that it is an incredibly resource-rich country, paired with a resourceful population who has been able to exploit these resources. From the Viking Age, they had a shipbuilding industry based on ample forests and impressive shipbuilding skills. The long coast has always offered vast amounts of fish of the highest quality, which today is farmed and exported around the world. And most recently, the discovery of oil.
I don't know, I feel like fish farming is like really so cool, I don't know. If I can't work with anything just because I want to like work with something cool, I feel like it will be fish farming. I feel like it's really so cool.
Oil and gas off their coast has led to them being in the top 10 oil exporters in the world. And of course, we all know oil equals large amounts of cash. Okay, so let's hop into our first point. Norway's high salaries. Norway ranks as having the 7th highest average salary in the world at around 56.
Oh my god. Highest average salary in the world? America first. That's crazy.
$1,000 US, or around 560,000 Norwegian krone. Corruption. With a score of 85 out of 100, Norway is the 4th least corrupt country in the world. It is worth noting that the 3 countries above Norway are all equal first, with 88 points. This is Denmark, Finland and New Zealand. Education. As someone who gathered around £40,000 worth of debt due to student loans, this one kind of makes me jealous. Public universities in Norway do not charge students tuition fees, regardless of the student's country of origin. This is a very unique opportunity to obtain a degree at a
When it comes to like school in Norway at the university level, most schools are free, But also like if you want to go to a private school, you have to pay money. But like if you go to like the government school, it's like totally free, right? And like most people in Norway still take student loan, but like when they're taking student loan, it's mainly used for like books. It's mainly used for like buying like for accommodation and like food and stuff like that. And then also like many people also like they like save their student loan while they are going to school. They save it because like the student loan normally have an interest rate around like maybe 1 to 2%, so they save the student loan, and then after they use that money as a down payment to buy a house, so that is pretty smart in my opinion, but like normally like people take student loan in Norway, but if you don't want to take it, you don't have to take it actually.
Quality university at no cost, and one of the many reasons why Norway has become an attractive country for foreign students. Prisons. Prisons in Norway are notoriously, well, how do I put it? Nice. I often see posts on social media or videos where the prison cells actually look better than some of the hotels that I've personally stayed in around the world. The idea behind this is that if you treat a human, even if they are a criminal, like a human instead of dirt, they are more likely to reform and able to be reintroduced back into society. Natural disasters.
That is actually true, right? But like I feel like if we treat people with respect, everybody don't have like that thing in their head. Oh my god, this person have been like really so nice to me. Why should I be like this? Why should I be like this? Why should I be nice now? Why should I better my life? Because most people like they just want to feel respected or feel loved. Yeah, but I know it's funny to say, but that's the fact. Most people want to feel respected or feel loved. So like if you treat people with respect, sometimes it like make them to even look at themselves and change, because you are being like an example for them.
Norway doesn't really have to worry about any extreme weather or natural disasters.
Nope.
It does not experience earthquakes, hurricanes, typhoons, or droughts. Although the weather is not perfect for most of the year in Norway, there is no extreme weather that puts lives at risk. Life expectancy. At 83.2 years, Norway ranks as having the 4th highest average life expectancy in the world. Only South Korea, Singapore, and Japan have a higher life expectancy. This means that the Norwegians have the highest average life expectancy in Europe. English speaking. Now, of course, with me being English myself, I may be a little biased with this one. However, it is globally accepted that English is the language of business. It is the most widely spoken language on the planet. Norway ranks as the country with the 3rd highest proficiency in English, only behind Sweden and the Netherlands. Not only does this...
That is so true, like before I moved to now, I was like, one of the advantage I have, I can speak English, so it's gonna be good for me, blah blah blah. But like I came here, people even speak English better than me now. Like no kidding, like Norwegians speak really good English now. And then when you ask them, they always be like, oh, I don't speak English real well, but if you want, but like everybody that I've met in Norway, I swear to God, since I came to Norway like almost 7 years ago, I've only met one person who couldn't speak English, and like this guy I met, he was a little bit sick, so like that is understandable because they didn't like grow faster like the other kids, so like it was understandable. But like everybody that I knew or everybody that I've met in Norway, they all pretty much speak English, It's really so crazy. People even come from like a non-English speaking country to come to Norway. They live in Norway, they learn Norwegian, but then also they learn how to speak English, Everybody speak English here.
This gives Norwegians an advantage when it comes to business and global communication, but if you are moving there from a different country and speak some English or fluent in it, you would likely have a common language to speak to the locals with. Press freedom. Norway ranks as number 1 in the world for Press Freedom Index. The Press Freedom Index is an annual ranking of countries compiled and published by Reporters Without Borders since 2002, based upon the organisation's own assessment of the country's press freedom records in the previous year. It intends to reflect the degree of freedom that journalists and news organisations have in each country, and the efforts made by authorities to respect this freedom. Norway is arguably one of the most beautiful countries on earth.
The landscape, yeah, it's really so pretty. I myself, I'm not like a nature person, I'm not into like, oh, I'm gonna go hiking today, I'm gonna go to the woods, But like Norway in general is really so pretty, like when it comes to the natural beauty, Like when you see it on the TV, sometimes I feel like it doesn't even do justice, but it's really so pretty,
Now, this doesn't particularly make it an objectively better place to live, as there are many beautiful countries around the world that aren't so great to live in. However, being a naturally beautiful and picturesque country certainly helps, in addition to everything else we've listed in this video. The Mothers Report. Norway ranks as second in the world for the Mothers Report Index. Only its Nordic brother, Finland, ranks higher. The World Mothers Report is an annual report by Save the Children USA, which compiles statistics on the health of mothers and children and uses them to produce rankings of more than 170 countries. The second least fragile state. A fragile state has several attributes. Common indicators include a state whose central government is so weak or ineffective that it has little control over much of its territory, non-provision of public services, widespread corruption and criminality, and sharp economic decline. So for this, Norway is the second best country in the world. Norway ranks as being the third least polluted country in the world.
But Norway is pretty safe actually, like it's really so safe in Norway, like I don't want to say some crazy stuff, but like Norway is like really so safe,
Only beaten by its Nordic brothers, Iceland and Finland. Now, this goes without saying, but of course, living in a less polluted country does wonders for your health, which coincides nicely with the fact that Norwegians have the fourth highest life expectancy in the world. Norway's pollution levels takes us nicely onto our next point. Norway has the highest number of electric cars per person in the world, as well as the highest percentage of electric cars in new car sales. They stand at around 19 people per electric car, and nearly 75% of new car sales in Norway were plug-in electric vehicles in 2020. Now,
but like being from Norway, right? Like it makes so much sense to like buy electric car in Norway, because like if you want to drive like a gasoline car, or a diesel car, it's like really so expensive, man. Like the road tax, like the toll, like the price of the gas, like servicing it, But electric car, one, you don't have too much servicing. That's the first thing. And secondly, like you don't have to like worry about like buying expensive high gas or diesel, And then thirdly, also like there is not so much taxes. Like if you paying the toll is like normally half price or free, and like normally you're allowed to use the bus lane. You can charge them home. So like having electric car in Norway make like so much more sense, compared to other places now.
This is slightly a far-fetched statistic to add to this video. However, the less internal combustion cars that are on the roads, the less air and noise pollution, which in turn makes a nicer place to live. So overall, Norway ranks as being the most developed country on Earth. It is rich, not overpopulated, is one of the least corrupt nations in the world, and offers its citizens a very high quality of life. Now, of course, Norway is not perfect. It does have many drawbacks. There isn't a single country on Earth that is perfect. For one, its climate isn't particularly favourable, although during
The weather in Norway, I feel like it's really so different, If you like go up north, I don't even feel like I can survive the winter up north, The people who live all the way up north in Norway, like normally they leave their car on in the winter, because if they do, like it's gonna freeze. It's not gonna start the next day. But like if you go to like the west coast, also it's like so much rain, but they don't have a lot of snow, but it rained a lot, like in places like Bergen. If there's one thing I don't like about Norway, it is the weather, I feel like it's really so cold, Compared to places like France or like even Germany, it feels so much hotter in this country than Norway, Norway is like the weather is crazy.
the summer months, it is rather pleasant. It does see rather grim winters, especially when compared to other European nations such as Portugal and Spain. Norway also ranks within the top 10 for the most expensive countries in the world to live in. Now, this is fine if you're rich, but if you're just scraping by or visiting as a tourist from a less developed country, you may find it eye-wateringly expensive. Due to its geographical position on Earth, Norway experiences some very undesirable amounts of sunshine, either too little or too much. For example, during the month of June, the sun can rise before 4 AM and set close to 11 PM, giving nearly 19 hours of daylight.
That is actually good that people, like in some part of Norway, even like you don't see the sun like the whole freaking day, No, in some part of Norway, like in the summer, like the sun doesn't go away like the whole freaking day. And then like also in the winter, it's like dark the whole place. I even saw like one Norwegian town, I forgot the name, but literally like the town is like the middle. It's the town is like surrounded by mountains, and for them to have sunlight, they literally have like big mirrors that reflecting the sunlight for them to have light in the village now. The weather here is crazy, man.
On the other hand, in December, the sun may not rise until after 9 am and just set after 3 pm, meaning you will likely go to work or school in the dark and return home also in the dark. This lack of daylight can lead to depression and, of course, vitamin D deficiency.
Norway, they like excel in like so many things to do, you know, but of course Norway have its own flaws, and like one of the biggest flaws of Norway it is the weather. But like in Norway, so we don't have like bad weather, we have bad clothes. But like the things about the daylight stuff, you know, like in the winter sometimes, like the sun come up like around 11 o'clock, and then like 2, 3, it's gone. So like sometimes if you don't wake up early, or you wake up too late, you will not see like the sunlight, you know, for days, you know. But I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching it. If you do, remember to like it, comment down below. We'll see you in the next one. Peace out.